At 86, Anthony Hopkins has finally opened up about a truth he kept hidden for years. The legendary actor, known for his roles in Hannibal Lecter and many more, has revealed his surprising views on politics and fame. In this video, we explore Anthony Hopkins' journey from his early days in acting to his latest revelations. What pushed him to speak out now? Let's find out. Life before fame. Philip Anthony Hopkins was born on December 31, 1937, in Margam, a suburb of Port Talbot, Wales. His parents, Muriel Ann and Richard Arthur Hopkins, owned a bakery, providing a modest but stable upbringing for their son. From an early age, Anthony struggled with dyslexia, making academic life challenging. He often felt isolated and misunderstood, which significantly shaped his early years. Anthony's education began at Jones's West Monmouth Boys' School in Pontypool in 1949. His parents hoped the school would instill discipline in him, but the environment failed to spark his interest. He then transferred to Cowbridge Grammar School in the Vale of Glamorgan. Despite these changes, traditional schooling did not appeal to him. He found solace in creative activities like painting, drawing, and playing the piano. These pursuits provided him with a sense of identity during his formative years. A turning point in Anthony's life came when he was 15. He met Richard Burton, a celebrated Welsh actor who also hailed from Port Talbot. Burton's success and charisma left a profound impression on Anthony, inspiring him to pursue acting as a career. This encounter ignited a passion that would define his future. Motivated by his meeting with Burton, Anthony decided to enroll at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama in Cardiff. He graduated in 1957, honing his acting skills and solidifying his commitment to the craft. After completing his studies, he moved to London to continue his training at the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. These years were crucial for developing the discipline and skill that would later define his illustrious career. Entering the world of acting. Anthony Hopkins' journey in the world of acting began in 1960, when he graduated from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London. Fresh out of RADA, he joined the prestigious Royal National Theatre, where he worked under the mentorship of Laurence Olivier, one of the greatest actors of the time. Olivier was quick to recognize Hopkins' immense talent and potential. His early stage work included prominent roles in productions such as Julius Caesar and Coriolanus. Olivier famously remarked that Hopkins was the most promising young actor he had ever worked with, a significant endorsement that set the stage for Hopkins' future success. Hopkins' transition from stage to screen was marked by his film debut in 1968 with The Lion in Winter, where he portrayed Richard the Lionheart. This role was a significant turning point in his career, earning him widespread acclaim and bringing him into the spotlight of the film industry. His performance was noted for its intensity and depth, characteristics that would become hallmarks of his acting style. In 1970, Hopkins continued to make his mark in the film industry with roles in The Looking-Glass War and Hamlet. The Looking-Glass War, a Cold War thriller, showcased his versatility and ability to adapt to different genres. His role in Hamlet, directed by Tony Richardson, further solidified his reputation as a formidable talent in both film and theater. His dedication to his craft was evident in his work ethic and the range of roles he took on. He was not content to be typecast and sought out diverse and demanding parts that allowed him to explore different facets of his talent. This period of his career was marked by a series of performances that displayed his growing skill and versatility as an actor. The early 1970s were a pivotal time for Hopkins, as he took on roles that would further establish his reputation as a versatile and powerful actor. In 1972, he starred in the BBC adaptation of Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace, playing Pierre Bezukhov. This role was significant not only for its complexity, but also for the acclaim it brought him. The adaptation was well received, and Hopkins's performance was praised for its depth and nuance. Another significant project in 1972 was Young Winston, directed by Richard Attenborough. In this film, Hopkins portrayed David Lloyd George, a key figure in British politics. The film chronicled the early life of Winston Churchill and received critical acclaim. Hopkins's portrayal of Lloyd George was noted for its accuracy and the strength of his performance, further cementing his status as a leading actor of his generation. Despite his growing success in film and television, Hopkins remained committed to the theater. He continued to perform in numerous plays, demonstrating his dedication to his craft and his love for the stage. One of his notable theater roles during this period was the lead role in Equus at the National Theatre. His performance in Equus was a proof of his exceptional talent and dedication, showcasing his ability to captivate audiences with his powerful and emotive acting. In 1973, Hopkins took on the role of David Lloyd George in The Edwardians, a television miniseries. Lloyd George, who served as the British Prime Minister during World War I, was a complex figure, and Hopkins's portrayal was lauded for its precision and authenticity. This role was a significant step in establishing Hopkins as an actor capable of convincingly embodying historical figures. The following year, Hopkins continued to build his reputation with QB7 in 1974, another television miniseries. Based on the novel by Leon Uris, the series saw Hopkins in the role of Dr. Adam Kelno, a Polish doctor accused of war crimes. This character was morally ambiguous, and Hopkins's performance was praised for its depth and nuance, further demonstrating his ability to handle complex and challenging roles. In 1975, Hopkins starred in All Creatures Great and Small, a television film adaptation of James Herriot's beloved books. Playing Siegfried Farnan, a veterinary surgeon, Hopkins brought warmth and humor to the character, showcasing his versatility. His performance contributed to the film's success and helped cement his status as a talented actor capable of a wide range of emotional portrayals. The late 1970s were a period of continued success for Hopkins, with a series of impactful television roles. In 1976, he starred in Dark Victory, portraying Dr. Michael Grant. This film revolved around a dramatic medical storyline, allowing Hopkins to deliver a compelling performance that resonated with audiences. The same year, he played Bruno Hauptmann in The Lindbergh Kidnapping Case. This role, based on the true story of the infamous kidnapping and subsequent trial, further solidified Hopkins's reputation for his ability to bring real-life events to the screen with intensity and conviction. One of Hopkins' notable roles during this period was in Mayflower: The Pilgrim's Adventure in 1979. As Captain Christopher Jones, the commander of the Mayflower, Hopkins explored historical drama on a grand scale. His performance was well received, adding another layer to his growing body of work in historical roles. In 1981, Hopkins took on one of his most challenging and controversial roles as Adolf Hitler in The Bunker. This television film depicted Hitler's final days in his Berlin bunker, and Hopkins's portrayal was both chilling and mesmerizing. The performance earned him critical acclaim and an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a limited series or special. Hopkins's ability to delve deeply into the psyche of one of history's most infamous figures demonstrated his exceptional talent and commitment to his craft. The early 1980s saw Hopkins continuing to diversify his roles, further showcasing his range as an actor. In 1982, he starred as Quasimodo in a television film adaptation of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This role required Hopkins to bring depth and pathos to the character of Quasimodo, the hunchbacked bell ringer of Notre Dame Cathedral. His performance was a testament to his ability to convey the tragic and complex nature of classic literary characters. In 1984, Hopkins appeared in Arch of Triumph, a television film based on Erich Maria Remarque's novel. He played Dr. Ravitch, a German surgeon who escapes to Paris during World War II. This role highlighted Hopkins' skill in portraying characters with a deep sense of internal conflict and resilience. His performance was compelling, capturing the nuances of a man haunted by his past while trying to find a sense of purpose in a war-torn world. Another significant role came in 1985 with Guilty Conscience, a psychological thriller in which Hopkins played Arthur Jameson, a lawyer plotting the perfect murder of his wife. The film explored themes of morality and justice, and Hopkins's performance was both engaging and unsettling. His ability to navigate the psychological complexities of the character made for a gripping and memorable portrayal. That same year, Hopkins starred in Mussolini and I, a television film where he portrayed Count Galeazzo Ciano, the son-in-law of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. This role required Hopkins to navigate the intricate political and personal dynamics of Ciano's life. His performance showcased his ability to tackle multifaceted historical characters, further solidifying his reputation as a versatile and talented actor. In 1987, Hopkins starred in the film 84 Charing Cross Road alongside Anne Bancroft. The film, based on the true story of a transatlantic friendship between a New York writer and a London bookshop owner, allowed Hopkins to bring depth and nuance to his character, Frank Dole. His portrayal of the reserved and kind bookseller was well received, highlighting his ability to convey complex emotions subtly. The turning point in Hopkins's career came in 1991 with his iconic portrayal of Dr. Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs. This role catapulted him to international fame and critical acclaim. Directed by Jonathan Demme, the film featured Hopkins as the brilliant but terrifying cannibalistic psychiatrist. His performance was both chilling and unforgettable, earning him the Academy Award for Best Actor. The film itself was a major success, winning 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Hopkins's portrayal of Lecter became a cultural touchstone, solidifying his status as one of the most compelling actors of his generation. Following the success of The Silence of the Lambs, Hopkins continued to deliver powerful performances in a series of acclaimed films. In 1992, he starred in Howard's End, a film adaptation of E.M. Forster's novel. Directed by James Ivory, the film featured Hopkins as Henry Wilcox, a wealthy and conservative businessman. His performance was praised for its subtlety and depth, contributing to the film's overall success. In 1993, Hopkins took on the role of Stevens, a butler serving in a large English house, in The Remains of the Day. Directed by James Ivory and based on Kazuo Ishiguro's novel, the film featured Hopkins in one of his most acclaimed roles. His portrayal of the reserved and duty-bound butler was widely lauded, earning him another Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Hopkins's ability to convey complex emotions with minimal dialogue and restrained expressions highlighted his extraordinary talent. Hopkins continued to take on diverse and challenging roles throughout the mid-1990s, further establishing his reputation as a versatile and accomplished actor. In 1995, he starred as Richard Nixon in Oliver Stone's Nixon. His portrayal of the controversial president was both intense and nuanced, earning him another Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. The film provided Hopkins with an opportunity to explore a deeply flawed and complex character, demonstrating his range and depth as an actor. In 1996, Hopkins played the role of Pablo Picasso in the film Surviving Picasso. Directed by James Ivory, the film focused on the turbulent relationships and artistic life of the famous painter. Hopkins's performance was noted for its intensity and authenticity, capturing the passion and complexity of Picasso's character. In 1997, Hopkins starred in Steven Spielberg's Amistad as John Quincy Adams, the former U.S. president who defends a group of African slaves who revolted on the Spanish ship La Amistad. His performance earned him yet another Academy Award nomination, this time for Best Supporting Actor. The film highlighted Hopkins' ability to deliver powerful and moving performances in historical dramas, adding another layer to his impressive body of work. In 1998, Hopkins took on two diverse roles that further showcased his versatility as an actor. In The Mask of Zorro, he played Don Diego de la Vega, the original Zorro, who mentors a young successor portrayed by Antonio Banderas. The film was a commercial success and demonstrated Hopkins' ability to excel in action-adventure roles. His performance as the wise and skilled mentor added depth to the film and contributed to its popularity. Later that year, Hopkins starred in Meet Joe Black, playing a wealthy media mogul named William Parrish, who encounters death, personified by Brad Pitt. The film explored themes of mortality and love, with Hopkins delivering a poignant performance as a man facing the end of his life. His portrayal of Parrish was both touching and profound, adding emotional weight to the film's exploration of life's ultimate questions. Throughout this period, Hopkins received numerous awards and nominations, further solidifying his status as one of the most respected and accomplished actors in the industry. In addition to his Academy Awards and nominations, he was recognized with BAFTA awards, Golden Globe nominations, and other prestigious honors for his outstanding performances. Hopkins' work during these years demonstrated his extraordinary talent and versatility, establishing him as a leading figure in both film and television. Career in the new millennium. In 1999, Anthony Hopkins took on two very different roles, showcasing his range as an actor. First, he starred in Instinct, a psychological thriller directed by John Turteltaub. In it, Anthony played Dr. Ethan Powell, an anthropologist who lived with gorillas in Uganda and displayed strange behavior and violent tendencies. Despite mixed reviews and poor box office performance, the film highlighted Anthony's ability to portray complex characters. In 2001, Anthony reprised his famous role as Hannibal Lecter in Hannibal, directed by Ridley Scott. The film was a commercial success, but received mixed critical reviews. Nevertheless, Anthony's portrayal of Lecter was once again acclaimed, solidifying his character as one of cinema's most memorable villains. Also in 2001, Anthony starred in Hearts in Atlantis, based on Stephen King's novel. He played Ted Brautigan, a man with psychic abilities who befriends a young boy. The film was well received, with Anthony's performance adding significant depth to the story. In 2002, Anthony returned as Hannibal Lecter in Red Dragon, a prequel to The Silence of the Lambs. Directed by Brett Ratner, the film received positive reviews and was successful at the box office. Anthony's consistent ability to deliver powerful performances was evident, adding more depth to Lecter's character. In 2003, Anthony starred in The Human Stain as Coleman Silk, a college professor with a hidden past. Despite mixed reviews for the film, Anthony's performance was highly praised for its complexity. In 2005, Anthony played Burt Munro, a New Zealand motorcycle racer, in The World's Fastest Indian. Directed by Roger Donaldson, the film was modestly successful at the box office and received critical acclaim. Anthony's engaging and inspirational portrayal of Munro was widely praised. In 2006, Anthony appeared in All the King's Men, a political drama directed by Steven Zaillian. He played Judge Irwin, a key character in the film. Despite the movie's poor reception, Anthony's performance stood out, showcasing his ability to bring gravitas to any role. In 2007, Anthony Hopkins took on a new challenge in the legal thriller Fracture. Acting alongside Ryan Gosling, Hopkins played Ted Crawford, a clever engineer who tries to murder his wife and then defends himself in court. The movie did okay at the box office, and Hopkins's performance got good reviews. People loved how he made Crawford's character both smart and sneaky, adding to the film's suspense. In 2010, Hopkins played Sir John Talbot in The Wolfman, a remake of an old horror movie. Directed by Joe Johnston, the story is about a man who turns into a werewolf. Even though the film got mixed reviews, Hopkins's performance was praised for its seriousness and intensity, adding to the movie's dark atmosphere. In 2011, Hopkins joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing Odin, the King of Asgard, in Thor. Directed by Kenneth Branagh, this role introduced Hopkins to a younger audience and showed his flexibility in different genres. His portrayal of Odin was well received and added depth to the Marvel Universe. In 2012, Hopkins took on the role of Alfred Hitchcock in the movie Hitchcock, which looked at the making of Psycho. Hopkins's performance was widely praised for capturing the essence of the famous director, proving once again his talent for bringing historical figures to life on screen. Hopkins continued his role as Odin in the 2013 movie Thor: The Dark World. This role solidified his presence in the Marvel Universe, adding a sense of seriousness to the superhero genre. In 2014, Hopkins starred in Noah, directed by Darren Aronofsky. He played Methuselah, Noah's grandfather. While the movie got mixed reviews, Hopkins's performance was noted for its depth and complexity, even in a supporting role. One of Hopkins' standout performances during this time was in the 2015 TV film The Dresser. Starring alongside Ian McKellen, Hopkins played an aging actor named Sir. The film received critical acclaim, and Hopkins's portrayal was praised for its emotional depth. In 2017, Hopkins starred in The Two Popes, playing Pope Benedict XVI, opposite Jonathan Pryce's Cardinal Bergoglio. The film was praised for its screenplay and the performances of its leads. Hopkins' portrayal earned him several award nominations, including an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. In 2020, Hopkins delivered one of his most acclaimed performances in The Father, playing an elderly man with dementia. The film received widespread praise, and Hopkins won the Academy Award for Best Actor, becoming the oldest actor to win this award at 83. Hopkins continued to take on diverse roles in both film and television. In 2021, he appeared in the thriller The Virtuoso and returned to TV in Westworld, playing Dr. Robert Ford. His performance in Westworld was praised for its complexity. Also in 2021, Hopkins starred in Zero Contact, a sci-fi thriller filmed during the COVID-19 pandemic. The film, which focused on virtual interactions, was unique, and Hopkins' performance was a standout, adding depth to the project despite its unconventional production. News: the truth about his career. In a recent interview with Deadline in July 2024, Anthony Hopkins opened up about his illustrious career and some of the challenges that came with it. This candid discussion revealed deep insights into how his most famous role, Hannibal Lecter, shaped his life both professionally and personally. Hopkins, now 86, reflected on his portrayal of the iconic character in The Silence of the Lambs. The role brought him immense fame, but it also came with significant drawbacks. He admitted that being typecast as Hannibal Lecter influenced the trajectory of his career in ways he hadn't anticipated. Despite the character's dark nature, Hopkins approached the role with psychological depth, which resonated strongly with audiences worldwide. This connection with the audience was a double-edged sword, as it led to Hopkins being frequently associated with the sinister and intelligent cannibal, overshadowing his other works. The actor emphasized how Hannibal Lecter's dark persona contrasted sharply with his own personal philosophy and approach to acting. Hopkins, known for his versatility, found it challenging to break free from the shadow of Lecter. He spoke about the psychological toll it took on him and how it shaped the roles he was offered in the years following the film's release. Despite these challenges, Hopkins remains proud of his work and the impact it had on cinema. A shift towards compassionate roles. Beyond his role as Hannibal Lecter, Hopkins discussed his recent work on the film One Life. In this film, he portrays Sir Nicholas Winton, a man who saved hundreds of Jewish children from Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia during World War II. 2. Hopkins expressed deep admiration for Winton's bravery and dedication. He described the role as profoundly moving and aligning closely with his own values of compassion and humanitarianism. Hopkins shared that playing Winton allowed him to delve into the complexities of a character driven by moral conviction and selflessness. This role was a stark contrast to Hannibal Lecter and provided Hopkins with an opportunity to showcase his range as an actor. He found the experience rewarding, both personally and professionally, as it allowed him to honor a real-life hero whose actions had a lasting impact on the world. Intellectual stimulation in Freud's last session. Another significant role for Hopkins was his portrayal of Sigmund Freud in the film Freud's Last Session. The movie features an intellectual debate between Freud and C.S. Lewis, played by Matthew Goode, about the existence of God. Set against the backdrop of the impending World War II, the film explores complex philosophical and theological themes. Hopkins found this role particularly stimulating. He appreciated the opportunity to engage with the profound questions posed by the script, which challenged him to think deeply about his own beliefs and perspectives. The intellectual rigor of the role was a welcome change from some of the more emotionally intense characters he had played in the past. Personal reflections. Throughout the interview, Hopkins also reflected on his personal journey and how his career has evolved over the years. He spoke about the importance of balancing his professional life with his personal well-being. Despite the pressures of fame and the demands of his career, Hopkins has always prioritized his mental health and personal happiness. He shared that one of the keys to his success has been his ability to stay grounded and maintain a sense of perspective. Hopkins has always approached his work with a sense of curiosity and a desire to learn, which has kept him engaged and motivated throughout his long career. The impact of Hannibal Lecter. Returning to the topic of Hannibal Lecter, Hopkins elaborated on how the character's legacy has persisted over the years. He acknowledged that while the role brought him widespread recognition, it also cast a long shadow over his subsequent work. Hopkins recounted instances where he was pigeonholed into playing similar roles, which limited his opportunities to showcase his versatility as an actor. However, he also noted that the role of Hannibal Lecter allowed him to explore the darker aspects of human nature in a way that few other roles could. The character's intelligence and cunning provided a unique challenge that Hopkins relished. Despite the difficulties associated with being typecast, he remains grateful for the opportunities that the role brought him and the impact it had on his career. Legacy and future projects. As he looks to the future, Hopkins is determined to continue taking on roles that challenge him and allow him to grow as an actor. He is committed to using his platform to highlight important stories and bring attention to issues that matter to him. Whether it's portraying real-life heroes like Nicholas Winton or engaging in intellectual debates as Sigmund Freud, Hopkins is focused on leaving a lasting legacy through his work. In addition to his acting projects, Hopkins has also become more involved in mentoring young actors and sharing his experiences with the next generation. He believes in the importance of passing on knowledge and supporting emerging talent in the industry.